All right. The 5-Year Engagement is directed by Nick Stoller and written by Jason Segel, who also they worked together on Jason Segel's first screenplay, which was Forgetting Sarah Marshall. And Nick Stoller's went on and done a few other Apatow projects as well, including Get Him to the Greek. And they kind of come back here to tell another sort of sad sap love story, which is this couple who met in, not New York, they're from San Francisco. Jason Segel plays a kind of well-to-do chef, sous chef in a fancy restaurant who's kind of coming up in the world of culinary arts, while his girlfriend, played by Emily Blunt, plays a psychologist or a social psychologist. She's kind of coming up in the world of academia at the same time, and she gets an opportunity to move to Minnesota, Michigan, sorry. Somewhere in the Midwest that's really cold, to further her education against a really renowned professor played by Rhys Ifans. And she convinces Jason Segel's character to move down there with him right after they were just got engaged and were supposed to get married. So this kind of puts their engagement on a halt for a little while. And as he's having a hard time finding a job, and she's doing better and better in the world of academia, they keep finding more and more excuses to push the wedding further and further and further, and eventually they start to get estranged from each other in their different lives. So this has a lot of the type of stuff you see in the Apatow movies. It's sort of, it's kind of a romantic comedy that has a certain amount of warmth and heart to it, and it has equally handed just an amount of raunch and kind of gross out humor and kind of, I don't know, what's the word you want to put, kind of blue type of dialogue between some of the characters. And that studio in general, and even Segel as a writer, are pretty good at sort of balancing that type of stuff in a way that isn't completely contrived. But I really had a problem with this movie because it's just too long. It's called the 5-Year Engagement, and you feel every year of that engagement. I believe it feels more like a 5-act movie than a 3-act movie. Once the movie comes to what I thought was the logical conclusion, it just keeps going for 20, 25 minutes more, and after a while, I was like, what is this movie? I don't even care anymore about whether this couple gets together or breaks up, because the movie has been toying with me for the last 2.5 hours. There's so many superfluous side characters. If you want to talk about superfluous side characters who have almost nothing to do in the movie, where it feels like, my problem with a lot of these Apatow scripts anymore is it feels like they had a 90-minute script written and they said, well, it's not funny enough, so let's let every comedian who's in this movie, you get to put your input in here, and we're going to film it and we're going to write it and we're not going to cut it. This is a movie that desperately needs an editor, and I feel like there might be a 90-minute cut somewhere in there that works, but it is totally lost in this meandering, flabby plot. So I have to give it a C- because of its just sheer inability to stick with a streamlined romantic comedy.
I fully agree with you. I give it a C. This guy, I feel it's got the, I call it the Apatow crutch. We put as many side characters as we can, and we try to make everything funny, and then we find something that's really funny. And it's good 5 minutes, but we're going to stretch it to 35 minutes. So you get this, there's a breakdown scene of Jason Segel, and it's great 5-minute comedy, but they make it 35 minutes.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh my God, we get it. He broke down.
Yeah, that scene goes on way too long.
But I have to admit, some of the side characters are great. Emily Blunt's little co-workers, or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
Where they got masturbation theories and stuff. Really funny. Brian Posehn, yeah. He's in in every random scene. It's weird. He, for some reason, gets experimented on a lot.
And he's pretty funny.
Yeah, but you got Chris Pratt and Alison Brie, who kind of. And Alison Brie has this really bad British accent, and I watch her in Community, so I'm like, and Chris Pratt in Parks and Rec, so I really love these characters, or these people. And then they have these new characters. I'm like, no, you don't work anymore. Chris Pratt is just basically Seth Rogen.
Yeah,
that's all he is.
kinda,
He's just a different version of Seth Rogen. But I think, I also fully agree that movie had an ending, and then it goes 30 minutes longer.
Yeah.
That was just horrible need to appeal to masses for no reason.
Yeah. I'm not even sure who they were appealing to. I found the movie to be more self-indulgent than anything. I think they just thought everything was so funny that nothing could go.
Exactly. There's like, we just need to keep this going because I don't want it to end. It's my baby or something. I don't know, my precious, some crap like that. But no, I thought the side characters, there were a lot of them, and I liked all of them. Like, they were all legitimately good characters. But yeah, they needed far less screen time, and the main characters needed to get on with their lives.
Yeah.
So yeah, fully agree.
I agree. It's just totally undisciplined. It feels episodic, and you just have no idea where you are in the movie at any point.